Thank you. President Hansen, Vice President Ryan, members of the board, Superintendent Banda. I'm humbled by this expression of confidence. And I have to thank everybody that is here to support this appointment. It's been a whirlwind, and I want to particularly thank President Hansen for his leadership throughout this process. It was excruciating for me to go through this process, and I can only imagine what it was like for each of you as board members and the commitment that is required to spend long days, several days, engaged in this process. My wife, Consuelo, I'd like to ask that she stand. We couldn't be more thrilled and ecstatic about this opportunity. When you go hard, you don't take enough time to reflect about your own life and your own journey. And this process made me do that time and time again throughout the process. And I can't tell you how thrilled I am to become part of the Sac City family. You heard a little bit about my history. I'm the proud son of Mexican immigrants from Tlangancícuaro, Michoacán, Mexico.
Wow. You know, I'm very proud of that.
And the values that they taught me, that I struggle with in terms of how do I teach those same values to my children. I often talk about how the biggest challenge for my wife and I is to raise middle-income children with low-income and working-class values. I grew up as my mother's assistant, picking grapes in the Central Valley fields, spending time in the table grape season, sometimes in the season where you pick the more beautiful grapes that are shipped outside of the country, and trying my best to keep up with her, laying those 3.5 by 2 feet sheet of papers as the wind would pick up, and she was giving me trays of grapes that I would then have to spread. What a way to teach me those values. And I can't thank them enough for trying their best in their own way to teach me the value of humility and modesty and grit. Because without that grit, I would not have been able to overcome the hardships that I faced as the eldest in my family, the first to go to college at a very difficult public university, and then pursue a law degree while I was teaching high school. Without their financial support, and I often think about how they were very involved as parents, but they didn't know how to be engaged parents, and they didn't know how to be empowered parents. And that is something that we will seek to do in Sacramento City Unified School District, that we expect not just parent involvement, but parent engagement, and then parent empowerment. I attended, after moving back and forth from Parlier to Mexico between the 6th grade and the 11th grade year, I had the fortune, and some of you heard from some of my colleagues, to attend the Chicano Latino Youth Leadership Project, which single-handedly changed my life because I was exposed to leaders in the Chicano Latino community. Cruz Reynoso was a speaker at that time. Without that experience, I would have probably never pursued higher education. So that was my first experience in Sacramento, being a high school student and spending the week in Cal State, Sacramento. And in high school, I had the opportunity to be a legislative intern in Sacramento as well, for then Assembly Member John Vasconcelos. And I spent the summer living in Sacramento and had memorable experiences here. And as we prepared to open the University of California, Merced, and obviously all the politics that went behind building that campus, I also then spent a lot of time in Sacramento. And so with all due respect to my wife of 21 years, Sacramento and I have been dating each other for a long time. And today I feel like I'm married Sacramento City Unified School District. I'm here because of the support of many, many individuals, some of whom you've heard today, who've been mentors for many, many years. A staff that has been committed to this idea of equity and access for many years and have given me the honor of leading their work. But I want to make sure that I honor them, and I'm sure that they're listening or will listen in the next few hours and days. I want you to know as a board that it's never lost on me that my experiences are experiences that are shared by many, many families in Sacramento City. And that the decisions that we will make together in partnership with all of our stakeholders will have an impact. And I can't tell you how much I hope that that impact will result in the same outcomes that public education had for me and my family. That public education allowed me to break a cycle for my family and start a new cycle for my children and their children and future generations of Aguilars, if you will. And it is for that reason that who I am can be encapsulated in the guiding principle that our job is to make sure that students have an equal opportunity to graduate with the greatest number of post-secondary choices from the widest array of options. And that will be what I think about every single day when I wake up and I come to Sacramento City Unified School District and work on behalf of the students that you've entrusted me to work for. So I can't wait to continue working with you, to continue listening to our students and our families and our community members. I intentionally decided that before I had any meetings in the district office, I would spend time at a school site, and I want to thank Trustee Cochran for hosting me and being in space with me at Hiram Johnson, where I did have an opportunity to meet students from the Law Academy, where I had an opportunity to be part of the faculty meeting, the staff meeting as well. And I know that I look forward to doing the same with the rest of the trustees on the board. Finally, I do want to take a moment to thank my friend Jose Banda, with whom I worked with at UC Merced and did fantastic work when he was superintendent of Granada Unified as well. Thank you for setting the foundation, Superintendent, so that we can pick up and continue the good work that was started. With that, thank you very much. In the spirit of resting and getting our students home, thank you for your time.